And now, the Crypt Keeper of Creepy, the provocative prince of the tweens, the nightmare from Neptune. It's Zabujard!
Hey, I'm in a public bathroom. When it comes to converting someone onto your side, yeah, hold on. So, as soon as I hit record, I heard a tenant, move past the bathroom that I was sitting in to record earlier, which was pretty creepy. I'm back in my car now. It's extremely foggy out there. And I tried not to inhale as least of the fog as I could, because I looked at the fog under a bright fluorescent light, and it has tons of particles in it, which might be normal for fog, but also right now with all the weaponized fag fog going around in London and all over the United States, you can call it smart fog or they call it smart dust fog or whatever. They put fag, evil, weaponized dust in the fog lately. I don't know if it's, this place gets fog a lot anyways because I'm by the coast, so I don't really know if this is normal fog or weaponized evil fog, but just to be safe, I'm going to wear a mask tonight. So I'm going to try not to inhale the fog, because I looked at the fog under the light tonight, and it looks like billions of particles, which might be normal for fog, or it might not be, I don't know, but I think just for now, it's good to be better safe than sorry with this fog here, so I'm going to wear a mask tonight at work and try not to inhale any of the fog stuff just to be safe here, because I know we've been seeing weaponized fag fog all over the US and London lately, so better safe than sorry, I guess. Anyways, what I was trying to say was, and I have this awesome mask from China that I got, and it works pretty well. I'm kind of concerned I'm inhaling microplastics when I wear it, but it's a nice little scarf that I got from China for this job, because this job is freezing, and the nice thing about a scarf is that it kind of traps heat. So I don't know. Anyways, all I wanted to say was that Happy New Year's and stuff, and we already have 2 false flags this year, so that's pretty gay. And a truck went kablooey in front of Trump Tower, and another boy drove his truck through a crowd of people. And both of them were soldiers from Fort Bragg, which is the famous PSYOP army base where they do MKUltra on people and they turn them into super soldiers and stuff like that. And there's the movie The Men Who Stare at Goats, based on the book, where people are at Fort Bragg and they stare at Baphomet goats, and they become super psychics and shit. And it's a gay movie that they made into a comedy and stuff like that. And anyway, so there's already 2 gay retarded psyops in 2025 that just pray. These people are disgusting. The government. I'm sorry, the government who was doing this they're the tippy top of the evil fucks, and that includes Trump. And that includes Biden, and it includes all of them, and all the actors, and that includes Macaulay Culkin from Home Alone, because they're all underground drinking youngster liquid. So I'm praying that this fog gets the hell out of here, and other stuff, and praying for destruction of sky weapons, weather weapons, frequency weapons, drones, all the gay stuff that's targeting us in the sky. I'm praying for destruction of those weapons and for the support of angels and other creatures that are in the sky destroying these weapons and holding these demonic fags accountable. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So, I don't know, just keep praying and stuff like that if you want. The problem with trying to convert someone to your ideas or whatever is if you think, I mean, I guess there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that to me, it kind of seems like this. It's like, so there is, like nothing matters in this world, but then at the same time, everything matters. It's kind of this, it's both. And I don't know, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me either. But the more I think about it, the more I just kind of think that does make sense, actually. Or maybe I feel catharsis in that somehow. Maybe that's weird to say, but because there's nothing exists, and like for example, so above the Kabbalistic tree of life, you have Sof, I think, which is limitless light. You have Ein Sof, which is unlimited light or something. And then above that you have Ein, which is nothing. It's funny because even though space is totally fake and gay, they tell you that space is real and that it's an empty void and astronauts go there and it's an abyss. That's actually true, except space isn't real, but they're giving you a half-truth about the Jewish Kabbalah through their disgusting evil lies, which I guess are more like riddle lies, because they tell you that there's a outer space where there's nothing, kind of. I mean, they tell you there's stars and stuff out there, but when you think about it, it's black, there's no air, there's nothing there. What they're describing is the above part of the Kabbalistic tree of life, which is Ein, which is nothing, which is the abyss. So it's funny that the Illuminati fags who give us all these lies about this realm, they kind of throw in stuff that's actually kind of true, but just like distorted. And that's the example that comes to mind when I think of that. There's probably others too. And I took my sis to the store today, and I just kind of briefly mentioned that I was looking into, the tarot cards and stuff like that lately, which I know that can be a spicy topic. And I think she briefly said, that's disgusting or something like that. Some people aren't into it, which is totally fine, because the Illuminati use them. And so at the same time, all these psychic fags on YouTube will say, oh, you got to get into the tarot, you got to get into magic, you got to get into this stuff. Which I think is probably true, but at the same time, it's disgusting to share a interest or a hobby with people who eat youngsters all day underground, like Mr. Trump, who has his own personal astrologist and his own personal tarot card reader. And all the politicians and leaders and stuff, they have them. And Trump has his own personal astrologist. Some of you guys maybe don't know that. And astrologists use tarot cards and the zodiac and stuff like that. And they look at the stars, and they look at your star, your natal lines. If you don't know what that is, when you're born, you have something called natal lines. And these natal lines are the lines where planets orbit over the top of the Earth disk or whatever. And when these planets are orbiting, let's say you're born on February 1st, and Mars is orbiting over Detroit in your natal lines. That means if you move to Detroit, you kind of might get some Mars superpowers and shit like that. You might feel better about being alive or something if you move to Detroit, because your natal lines have Mars crossing over you, like several. I don't know what the orbits are like of the planets, but I assume it's like every couple of weeks or months you'll have Mars directly above you. If you wanted love and sex, then you would check out your natal lines and see where Venus moves compared to where you are in the world. And let's say Venus is in your natal lines over New York. Then you'd move to New York, and then maybe you'd get sexual satisfaction because Venus would be crossing right above you several weeks or months out of the year. So just random stuff like that. And the tarot cards were obviously originally made for the rich elites, and they have very pretty art on them. And the artist who drew them was obviously extremely knowledgeable in the Kabbalah and all these other topics, because the cards are very interlinked with the Jewish mysticism of Kabbalah as well. The history of Kabbalah is there's some Jewish theories that where Kabbalah came about from God created Kabbalah for angels, and after Adam sinned for the first time, the angels gave humanity Kabbalah so that humanity could be redeemed. And then later, angels wanted Kabbalah back, and they said, man should not have Kabbalah anymore, because Kabbalah is spiritual, and and angels are spiritual, so it should only be ours. And when they said that, Moses said, no, because there's principles of Kabbalah were about redemption, and men can be redeemed, whereas angels, I guess, can't, or something. There's repentance and stuff in Kabbalah, maybe, or a materialness, which angels don't have, maybe. I don't know, but Moses argued with the angels and God, who were trying, and I think God said, okay, you're right, you can keep it. You can keep it. And so humanity was able to keep Kabbalah. And Kabbalah was given to, I don't know, Joseph, I think, maybe. And it died with Joseph for a very long time, hundreds of years maybe, or something like that. And then it was totally stagnant. There was no Kabul stuff going on, and the Jews were in persecution by Egypt for a long time, supposedly. I don't believe any history really, but this is just what it is. I don't know if any history is real at all. But anyways, the Jews suffer by the Egyptians, blah, blah, blah. Hundreds of years go by, no Kabbalists, no spiritual enlightenment. Then boom, the Jews' number one superhero comes into the material realm, named Moses, which is, the letters are Mose, Mem, Shin, Nun, I think. And anyways, he is the one who gets Kabbalah back and really pushes it. He gets the Torah from God, obviously. The 4 books are extremely Kabbalistic. The 5th book, Deuteronomy, is not Kabbalistic. And he gives everyone the literal interpretation, but he only gives the special elite few Jews the spiritual secret interpretation. And what else is there to say? What was I talking about here? Anyways, blah, blah, blah. I don't remember why I started getting into the history of all this. Some people think that Abraham was the originator of Kabbalah. And Abraham, of course, was a very interesting boy. He was born into a non-Jewish family. He was non-Jewish, and yet he's the father of Jews. Figure that out. Figure that out for yourself. He was born into a harsh upbringing in a I don't know if it was Babylon or somewhere. I don't know where he was born, but he was born non-Jewish, no Jews, nothing like that. He had a harsh upbringing and stuff, and everyone around him was completely unholy, and Abraham ended up being like the holiest dude ever around, So if Abraham can do it, you can do it. If you want to be Jewish, you can. Abraham did it. If you want to be whatever you want to be, you can be it, because Abraham did it, and he had a hard life, and maybe you have a hard life, but Abraham did it, so maybe you can do it too. And that's the story of Abraham. And I think he went on to become like the king of Jews or something like that. Or anyways, he's a huge hero in the Jewish culture, obviously. And I'm a huge noob with all this stuff, so forgive me. But anyways, it's quite interesting. And they're all very interlocked and related. When I say what's super interlocked and related is Kabbalah, which is Jewish stuff, secret Jewish stuff. The Zohar, which is like the deepest study of Kabbalah. It's a famous book written by Moses de Leon in Spain in 600 AD, if you believe history or whatever. That's what it says, where it came from. It was written about rabbis who fled the persecution of Romans, and they hid in a cave for 13 years. This is Rabbi Ben Yochai, I think, and Rabbi Ben, and I don't remember, something. A rabbi and his son were getting pounced on by Roman boys. So they went into a cave for 13 years and they wrote a lot of the Zohar. And then later, that's the kind of the cool little backstory of it. But if that's not real, which some people believe that's not real, then they just believe that the boy in Spain wrote it much later. And he just kind of threw that fake story in there. But maybe it's a real story. Maybe they did study in a cave for 13 years and meditate and think about all this interesting Jewish stuff in their head in the cave when they were isolated and in exile from the Roman area. They were hiding in a cave in old Israel. Anyways, then that boy in Spain wrote the Zohar and handed out pamphlets everywhere and gave the pamphlets to people. And the greatest or whatever most influential writers about the Kabbalah after it came out was Isaac Luria. You might have heard of Lurianic Kabbalah. And the other famous writer was, I don't remember, but anyway, you got the Lurianic Kabbalah boy, Isaac Luria, and you got famous books like Apples in the Orchard and I don't know, whatever, and you got the other Anyways, so what I'm trying to say is these things are deeply intertwined. I'm talking about Kabbalah, magic with a K, tarot cards, astrology, probably just those four things, but probably like pretty much everything else too. Those four subjects right there, I feel like are very intertwined. The general blanket term for those four faggy things are called the mysteries. So in Freemasonry, they always just call this stuff the mysteries. And anyways, when the tarot cards were invented in the 1400s or whatever for the elite rich people, they gave them out, and they and a lot of these rich people already knew about the quote unquote the mysteries. Now you might have noticed that your Uncle Jim or your Uncle Bo or your Uncle Ding Dong Dickie don't really know any about this mysteries stuff. So if you're intrigued and you want to kind of teach people, then go ahead and tell them there's a weird Egyptian obelisk in New York Park or in the Washington Monuments and obelisk, and say why are there all these gay Egyptian statues all over the United States? What's going on here? Why is this so gay? Why are they obsessed with the pyramid on the dollar bill? Why are they obsessed with obelisks that look like Osiris's cock? Why are they obsessed with all this Egyptian architecture everywhere? Get their brain thinking, get their soul crunching, get their legs bumping, get their butt farting, whatever it is. But the problem is a lot of these people. So what I was saying earlier is that spreading ideas, spreading your seed into other people's brains, spraying your DNA all over an innocent parent, your parent or your uncle or whoever it is. If you try to teach these people, if you try to tell them, if you try to convert them to Jesus Christ, for example, or whatever, you say, hey, you go up to an atheist guy, you say, hey, I think you need Jesus Christ right now. Open up your heart. He's coming in now. And he's not going to take no for an answer. It's the same as if you're in a band class and you go up to a trumpet player and you play the saxophone and you tap him on the shoulder. He said, hey, you dumb idiot, what are you doing? And you hand him a saxophone. You say, you should be playing this. And he says, no, I kind of like the trumpet. And you say, no. You take his trumpet out of his hand. You said, you're playing this now. And you force the saxophone into his mouth hole. And you say, oh, now blow. And this is what you should be doing. Number one, does that trumpet player want to play the sax? No. Is he even going to try to play the sax very well? Probably not. Is he going to remember you as a caring person for doing that? I don't know. Maybe. Is he going to be like, what the heck is this guy's deal? I just want to play trumpet? Probably. It makes no sense to try to force a trumpet player to play your saxophone. It makes kind of no sense to force your ideas onto other people. Now, sure, you can share your ideas, of course, but it's kind of up to other people to kind of ingest them. And something that I have as a Pisces faggy creature is that I got a hard time with closed-mindedness. Now, I know you're thinking, closed-mindedness, come on, you're making cartoons, and you're making, what's it called, you're making misogynistic fagonistic, racist, blah, 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 cartoons about smeggy, blah, blah, blah. Here's the deal. I mean, when I try to talk to someone, and they're not even, like, hearing me out, and they're kind of stuck in their ways, and I'm being nice, I'm saying, well, what about this? And I say, no, no, no. What about this? No, 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 that's stupid, that's dumb, I hate that. I just want to play my trumpet in peace, go away. If I'm kind of asking them, well, what about the sax? I mean, it seems like a nice instrument. You know, I'm trying to if I'm just trying to show them the sax, maybe get them interested in the saxophone, maybe just try playing a note on it. Maybe you'll like it. They say, no, 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 I want my trumpet in my mouth. I only play trumpet. My trumpet runs in my family. They're not budging at all. None of my ideas are going over on them. None of my words are landing on their airplane mouth, on their runway. You know, none of my stuff's landing on them. I start getting kind of grumpy, pissed off. I say, this guy's not going to listen to me. I'm out of here. I don't even want to talk to this guy. This guy's not listening. I'm out of here. This guy's hard as a stone. This guy's hard as a rock. This guy's ears are made out of concrete. Nothing's getting through. So it's just like, you might meet people or know people who they're just kind of, you know, the word is ignorant or stuck in the mud or stuck in their own ways or something like that. And look, there's nothing wrong with that, but it's just hard to talk to some of those people sometimes about some of these ideas that you might have about certain things. So it's like, you know, it's just like one of those things. So that's all I was trying to say. Is, you know, you can't exactly force the earth gay consciousness to kind of like force it up and make everybody smarter and wiser or whatever, but you can try, but it's like it's kind of hard to force it, you know. It's kind of hard to force it right now. It's kind of hard to force it. My New Year's goals, I want to get as smart as possible. I know that sounds gay. I want to get as smart as possible with this crap. I want to just do that. I want to keep making cartoons. I don't know. I want to have a better year than I did last year, which is going to be kind of tough because I thought this last year was not too bad. I thought 2024 was actually pretty good, maybe. Maybe not a bad year. Maybe 2024 was the best year I've had in a very long time. Maybe 15 years or something. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe 15, maybe 10 years. I think 2024 is a pretty good year. Write in the comments what you thought about the year 2024. Maybe you had a good year. Maybe you had a horrible year. I don't know. Going into 2025, I think so far it seems like it's, I don't want to jinx it, but so I'm not even going to say anything. So we'll just see how it goes. We'll see how 2025 goes for us. But I thought 2024 was a pretty decent year. Not a bad year, I thought. Not a bad year at all. Just, you know, decorating my room sometimes. You know, things are happening, things are vibing, things are glowing. Not a bad year. I made some cartoons this year, made a lot of cartoons this year. I think I got to over 1,000 games this year, unless I'm wrong, and that was last year, but I think it was this year. Now I'm at over 1,100 games that I've made, and they're all pretty stupid in their own ways. And I've been pretty burnt out, and I haven't made a game in a long time, because all I wanted to do was get to 1,000 games. And I did that, I think, this year, and... anyways, so... that's about it. Write in the comments your New Year's goals. I want to lose 5 pounds off the foreskin of my cock. Write in the comments. I want to have the biggest fart that I've ever had in my whole life this year. Write in the comments if that's your goal. Alright, I want to eat the biggest bean burrito, have the biggest fart, and get into the Ripley's World Record book of biggest, nastiest, longest, smelliest, gayest fart. Write that in the comments if that's your goal. You know? It wasn't an interesting year this year, right in the comments. You thought it was an interesting year, maybe you thought it was a boring year. I didn't like this year, right in the comments. You thought it was a gay, boring year. This year sucked and it was dumb. Write that if you in the comments if you want. And yeah, you know, I'm still trying to figure things out. So I just want to figure everything out. I want to figure myself out. I want to figure out what I'm supposed to be, where I'm supposed to be doing, what I'm supposed to be doing, how I'm supposed to be doing it, where I'm supposed to be doing it, how I'm supposed to be being, where I'm supposed to be peeing, how I'm supposed to be thing, all that stuff. I'm still trying to figure everything out. I'm still trying to figure out what kind of creature I am and how I'm supposed to do this and how I'm supposed to do that, where I'm supposed to be at, who am I supposed to follow, who am I supposed to follow and lead, and what am I supposed to, what am I supposed to say? What am I supposed to think? I don't think I've ever yelled in my entire life, so maybe I'll yell at someone this year. Can you imagine setting that as a goal? I'm going to yell at this guy. I'm going to yell at my parents this year. I'm going to yell at the top of my lungs this year. I'm going to yell as loud as I can this year. Maybe that's a good goal. Maybe that's a dumb goal. I don't know. It doesn't matter. So, life is rough because I imagine life, I'm going to end up homeless and freezing on the street or something. They are really cracking down on homeless freaks lately. They're gonna tow your car if you live in Santa Cruz. They got police people who go around towing homeless people's cars. Homelessness is up by 30% this year, 18% this year. A lot of those are families, which I don't have a partner or youngsters of my own or anything like that. It's just me, but can you imagine? Jeez, if you had a family and then, anyways, they tow your car. So people, they're cracking down on homeless, they're cracking down on humans, they're cracking down on soul people, they're cracking down on people, they're cracking down on humans, they're cracking down on humanity. So we just gotta pray all the time because they're just cracking down on people. They're cracking down on them. And it's getting more and more retarded, we're gonna have a meme lord in the White House. They're gonna have Elon Musk posting dog memes every single day, and they're gonna have him posting Kim Kardashian's butt memes in the White House every day. This butt's bigger than the economy. Oh wait, no it's not. The economy's doing great. Some stupid memes like that. I had a dream last night. I was in this room, and in the darkness, a cat came up to me. I thought, oh, what is that? And there's a cat. I think I pet the cat, and I was about to let it outside, and I opened the door, and there's a dog barking out there, a really loud dog, and it scared us. So then I shut the door. So now I'm just in the room with the cat, and there's a dog barking out there. And I walk. If you're a schizophrenic or whatever, you might walk really weird. Well, I walk pretty weird. The way I walk, I'd say it's probably like the way the Joker dances when he dances in the Joker films. Maybe it's something like that. Write in the comments if you noticed you have kind of a fun little gay stupid walk that you do randomly or all the time or whatever. And I think somebody in the dream was like, hey, why are you walking like that? I said, oh, I don't know. Why am I walking like this? This is weird. I think that the way you walk, pretty sure it's kind of like, oh, I'm too lazy to correctly move my muscles to walk like a normal creature, so now I'm walking like some sort of swamp Bigfoot creature. I don't know if that's a common schizophrenia thing. You can write in the comments if you think that you walk like a Bigfoot sort of lanky Kong from Donkey Kong, sort of vine plant creature when you walk. Have you looked at your walk? Have you thought about your walk? Have you tried to perfect your walk and your prance and things like that? Write in the comments if you have a unique walk and stuff like that. But I had another dream that I was at a party and Kim Kardashian was in a hot tub nude. I'm not kidding. And I think because she put out that music video a few days ago where she's naked. And I didn't even watch it. I just heard about it. I heard about the music video. Then I had a dream about her. I didn't even watch her music video where she's nude, and it came out a couple days ago. And Macaulay Culkin's in it because he drinks youngster blood as well. That's why he is in Kim Kardashian's new music video, by the way. He's not innocent. There's no way Kim would put him in. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So then I'm in this dream. She's in a hot tub, and I'm like, okay, whatever. And then there's this huge, long, fancy dinner table. I don't know if I told you guys about this dream yet. And so then I start crawling underneath the table. And it's a long table. I think there's a plane flying above the table. There's probably chandeliers and stuff above. Very fancy, long room, long dinner table. The table kind of goes outside of the house, so then you're kind of like outside because it's so long. And there's people underneath the table, and I'm saying hello, who I think they're also laying or crawling down there. I say, hello, hi, I'm down here crawling too, hello. And I'm crawling past them, and that's all I remember. But, you know, when I think about it, this might sound kind of fun, but I do think about how much fun it would be to do stuff like crawling, crab walking, and any kind of walking or movement using both of my arms and my legs. You might call it some sort of primal bestial type of crawling. Maybe like a spider, crawling like a spider around on the ground. And this keeps popping up in my subconscious, in my dreams, and even in my waking life a little bit. Subconsciously, I'll be at somewhere and I'll be like, oh, this would be a fun place to crawl around. Oh, this would be a fun place to walk around like a giant spider. Oh, this would be a fun place to like walk on my hands and walk on one hand and one foot. And this fun place to crab walk, you know, stuff like that. Some sort of primordial spider-like crawling, walking thing seems to have attached itself to wanting me to be some sort of a crawl walker type of person, creature. So write in the comments if you think about crawling and stuff, or walking like a spider or a crab more often than you should. And write in the comments if you kind of want to do that subconsciously. And honestly, I haven't even done that. I think about it more often than I should. And I had a dream I was doing it the other day. But in real life, I don't think I crab walk very often or anything like that. It's just kind of something that keeps popping up in my head. But that does, you know, so anyways, so maybe you guys, you know, using my legs like everyone else, I really ought to be walking on my hands. And I tried to do it, but I keep getting hurt and falling over when I try to do it, so it's just too painful to even do. But maybe someday I'll master it so I can walk on my hands instead of my feet. Going to the grocery store might be hard if you're walking on your hands, because I don't know how, well, you'd have to grab your stuff with your feet. That wouldn't be that hard, actually. Yeah, that wouldn't be that hard. You just open the store door with your foot, and then you grab your stuff, and you hand them your credit card with your toes. And they gotta take it, and they gotta like it. Because you say, oh, I can't use my legs, they're broken. So I'm sorry, but I'm crawling on my hands. You know, something like that. Or, you know, I just have a preference to walk on my hands. I don't want to use my legs right now. So, you know, I think, so there you go. So just stuff, I mean, and that's hard. You don't see a lot of people walking on their hands 24/7. That's hard to do. So that's why it takes a lot of training. And so that's why it's hard for me to do that, because I barely get out of my bed and stuff like that. So these things are actually pretty hard and difficult kind of goals to achieve, but they are, I think they can be achieved. They're just very hard goals. But doesn't mean you should give up on them. Doesn't mean you should give up on them. Yeah, I don't think it means that at all. So there, I mean, I think that makes a lot of sense there. So anyway, you know, so they got the fag flu coming, the bird flu stuff is coming soon, and maybe, so make sure you don't get any needles inside of your butt or whatever, because they might try to push that gay stuff again, but I don't know if they will. I just know they've been talking on it on the gay propaganda news and stuff about bird flu, you know. It's just, they're trying to make this place as evil and stupid as possible. And I don't appreciate it. I think a lot of people don't appreciate it. It's very unfortunate that the Illuminati people running everything are doing as much as they can to turn humans into basically bug creatures. Very, very unfortunate stuff. And hurting a lot of people, killing a lot of people. It's not fun. So, just very unfortunate stuff. And anyways, I mean, that's the thing. I like to buy a lot of Chinese crap, but here's the thing. When you buy a lot of Chinese crap, it's almost like you're giving your money to some materialistic, crappy Chinese company who is probably raping the earth for their products. You know, China's got the worst smog and smeg problem of the entire world. They produce more smog and smeg than the rest of the world combined. And it's probably not good that I'm ordering stuff from Chinese factories sometimes, because that's just creating more earth rape stuff, you know? It's like it's funneling more energy and stuff towards negative stuff, you know? But I'm just so bored with my life and stuff, so that I'm just trying to figure out how to fix it and spice it up and stuff, you know? Just trying to figure out how to improve it. Seriously. And so I gotta work on that, you know? Maybe I gotta try meditation or something like that. But that just sounds gay and boring too, so I just don't really do that. I don't really do that either. So I don't know. I just need more teachers, maybe. You know, I need more teachers. That's something we always need. And I'm even thinking about, honestly, going and paying for a psychic reading. Not a psychic reading, but more just like a tarot reading from a quote unquote professional. And just kind of seeing if that would, I don't know. If that would, who am I kidding? That sounds fucking gay, but I might do it. Just to try to kind of get some direction. I really need some kind of forward momentum direction to move towards. Because I'm just kind of, you know, like locked in place or frozen or something. Let it go. Let it go. Don't put your smeg all over my face. Let it go. What was the snowman's name in Frozen? It was, I think it was King Blinkard, or maybe it was Dinky McDinkard. What was his name? Olaf. It was Olaf. I remember. It's Olaf. Let it grow. Let it blow. Let it snow in fucking Nigger Town. So, anyway. Yeah. You know, so what I was saying earlier was, you know, I said, you got people like Obama or Trump, and they have their own personal astrologists, and say, well, why would I want to get into this stuff and share a hobby with people who drink youngster blood underground? And that is true that you would be, you know, sharing a hobby with them if you got into, say, astrology or whatever, but it's not necessarily that the astrology is evil, it's about the person who's doing it. And you could have a weapon, you could have a sword in your hand. You can use a sword for bad or for good. And it's not really the sword's fault that it's a sword, it's just it depends on the person using it. So in the same way, if you were going to learn tarot cards or whatever, a lot of evil people use them, but maybe it just depends on the person using them. The intriguing thing is that the tarot cards have pictures on them. These pictures are meant to evoke thoughts, feelings, and ideas from your subconscious and your non-subconscious. And these pictures are deliberately drawn, and they have a number associated with them. You might have heard of a person who has a life path number. And these cards are drawn in a way where the pictures are supposed to be magical and invoke some kind of thought and reflection inside of your head. These aren't just like Barney sucking off a giant birdo creature. These are kind of like some thought-provoking images. Of course, now we're all thinking about Barney sucking off a birdo creature from Nintendo. And they have numbers associated with them. Number 1 is the male energy. This would be the unlimited light in Kabbalah terms and stuff. You got number 2, it's just duality. It's man and woman. It's also our own individual male and female energies within us. You got 3. This is like a family. It's like a dad, a mom, and a child. This is combining feelings and emotions to create actions. You have to focus on your feelings and emotions to create an action. They all depend on one another. And when you combine those two parts of your brain, feeling, emotions, and actions, when you combine two of them, you get the child is born, you get an action born from those things. You have to, whatever, blah, blah, blah. You have the number 4. This is a foundational number, such as a house has 4 walls. You know? So 4 is all about foundation, structure, routine, stuff like that. You got the number 5. These are the 5 senses. I think number 4 is the 4 elements, right? Air, earth, fire, and water. Number 5, you got the 5 senses. Number 6, an interesting number in that there's not many perfect kind of numbers or whatever in mathematics, I guess, but with the number 6, you have things like how 1 plus 2 plus 3 equals 6, but you also have 1 times 2 times 3 equals 6. So in that way, the sum is also equivalent to the multiplication of those numbers to add up to 6. I think it's one of the very rare numbers where that's actually possible, and you can't really count the other numbers that can do that. And then, of course, if you got 12 times 6, you got 60, and if you got 12 times, I don't remember. 7's kind of an intriguing, interesting number. It's kind of a number, kind of a dreams. Isis is related to the number 7. That's her secret number. The pyramids of Giza, of course, are built in a 7:11 ratio. 11 is the width, we'll say, and 7 is the height. That's also probably why you have buildings such as 7-Eleven, making reference to the Egyptian Great Pyramid of Giza, built in a 7:11 ratio, kind of like a special ratio. Number 8, I think that's like infinity or something, maybe. Well, it's also foundation too, but it's kind of like a foundation in the heavens, maybe. Number 9, I think, is the number of completion, I think. Maybe kind of sounds like the God number, right? The number of completion or something. And then 0 is the abyss. Like I said, 0 is Ain. And, above the tree of life, the highest above the tree is the abyss, the nothingness. This is the Ain. This is the 0. And 0 is where you learn the most crud about everything, is inside that number 0, inside the abyss. When you look into the abyss stares back into your smeggy cock, This is the number where you're in total darkness, you're in the abyss. This is probably the number where you learn the most. Now, if you got some sort of gay little life path number, which I don't even know what mine is, I don't remember what it is, but let's say your life path number is 4. That means, maybe your life's about routine foundation. It's built on a strong foundation or something. Let's say your life path number is 7. Maybe it's more dreamy. I got a lot of dreams. I wouldn't be surprised if mine is a 7, because I got a lot of dreams. Number 1, male energy, solitary animal creature. 1 has the most potential. 1 has the most potential. Number 2 is duality, but kind of more leaning towards feminine qualities on that one. The numbers are very important. You got, anyways, there's a lot of hullabaloo about numbers and stuff. Pythagoras got really hard and horny for numbers. He had a secret society cult about numbers, Anyway. And I hate to quote the words of some sort of Egyptian goddess creature such as Isis, but I think what she said was that your heart is the heart. Your heart is the core of your body, and your soul is the heart. The soul is the core of your heart. Your heart is the core of your body, and your soul is the core of your heart, and something like that. So it's kind of like an egg within an egg situation, maybe like a Vesica Pisces or a cube within a cube. You know, I don't know. It's like, and then they say, so your heart is your core, your soul is your core of your heart, and they say Jesus lives in your heart, right? He died on the cross. What cross is that? The cross at Golgotha, the skull, which is, that's what Golgotha means, and Jesus lives in your heart. Is this saying that we have some sort of good creature in our heart, some sort of goodness in our heart, in our soul type of thing? And then, anyways, and you know what's funny? Because I was looking, there's these 9 made first gods of Egypt called the Endymion, I think, which Endymion means 9, I think. And there's also an Endymiagram or something, which is a nine-sided shape. And anyway, no, I was just looking at the drawings of these old Egyptian gods, and guess what? Guess which Egyptian god looks just like a lot of my drawings look when I do drawings of myself. And this is going to sound crazy, but it's actually the Egyptian god of the sky, which is Nut. Pronounced Nuit. Nut, or Nuit. And she looks like she's doing some sort of yoga pose. And when I do a lot of my drawings, for some reason, I tend to draw myself in a lot of these poses. And they look just like this stupid drawing of this sky god of Nuit. And what she did was she was in the constellations, and she led souls safely into the dead dimension or some crap with her body. And anyways, just thought that was a little interesting little thing. If you look at a picture of her, you'll see she's doing a yoga pose. It looks like some of my drawings. If you've seen some of my drawings before, you'll notice. Kind of do these. I kind of do a lot of these long, lanky poses in my drawings of myself. And anyways, just thought that was funny. And we see all this weird, forced Egyptian nonsense in our reality still. We see the fakely named terror groups called ISIS that they still throw in the news plenty of times to keep pushing that name into the human consciousness for some reason, bringing Egyptian stuff into the modern consciousness for some reason. I don't quite know why they keep bringing it up and bringing things back to that society for some gay reason. I'm not quite sure, but it is what it is, I guess. I don't know why, but anyways. Hey guys, Jer here. Got about 6 more hours to go. I've seen a couple coyotes here tonight, or maybe it's just one coyote. I can't tell if it's several different ones or just one that keeps coming out of the creek, looking around for something, for food, I guess. I don't know. Thought about throwing him some sandwich, but I didn't. But I did look at him for a while. He looked at me. Cute little creature. Pretty big for a coyote, you know, like a normal sized dog, like a big dog. And this is the first time I've seen a coyote here. And I've been at this work site for like 8 months now, or something like that. Which, I guess it feels like I've been working here for 8 months, but I should be able to quit very, very soon. Any day now, any minute now, really. Trust me, any minute now. I'm not even kidding. Any minute now. So I'll let you guys know when I quit. It should be any minute now. And I'm not joking around, because I think I'm extremely close to being able to quit. And I want to quit very badly. I forgot my keys at work today. I took the work keys home with me. My boss was pissed. My boss was calling me several times. You got to bring the keys back. And I said, look, boss, I just had some sleeping pills. I'm about to go to bed. You know, I left work an hour ago, and now you're calling me. And I'm like, I can bring them back in 16 hours when I come back to faggot work. Is that okay? And she said, no, that's not okay. You have to bring them back now. So I'm like, okay. So then I got in and drove him back to work. Came back home. I slept for 10 hours. I slept for 8 hours, but I have a superhuman ability, guys, where after I wake up after 8 hours, I have the ability, if I choose, to sleep for another 2 hours, and I did. I closed my eyes and boom, I slept for another 2 hours. So then I was able to sleep for 10 hours. So then the whole day was gone, and now I'm back at work. You know, you've heard the expression work all night and sleep all day, or what is it? Work all day and sleep all night, and then... Anyway, I mean, you guys know what I'm talking about. It's ridiculous because you work all night, and then you go to bed, and then you're back at work. And it's like, that's kind of gay-tarded, nigger-tarded, right? I think that is dumb. So anyways, it was just like kind of a weird day, I guess. And just a weird day, and I was pretty grumpy about having to drive back there, but that's all right. And I'm thinking, why am I getting mad over stuff that doesn't even matter? I'm getting too mad over silly things, you know? It's like, I need to be a professional adult. I need to be a professional, mature creature. And I just cannot wait to quit this job where I pretty much don't do very much at all most of the time. I hope I don't have to break up any parties or anything tonight. There was some people partying tonight, but I haven't gotten any calls yet. It's already past midnight, so hopefully I don't get any calls for noise complaints here, because it's always cringe knocking on people's doors and telling them to be quiet at 2 in the morning or 1 in the morning, whatever it is, 3 in the morning. But anyways, I haven't had to do that in a while. It's just been chill here mostly. I've just been chilling in my car a lot. Very easy job. Most of the time it's just boring and cold. You have to go somewhere for 9 hours, which is extremely boring because I'd rather be in my room on my computer or whatever for 9 hours. And it's very cold. And then you're really fucking cold. And it's so cold in your car that you go to the public bathroom. And then, guess what? Sitting on a toilet for 1 to 3 hours, it pretty much rapes the hell out of your back, your spine, and your neck. So then, you go home, and your fucking back hurts like hell. So then you take aspirin, because you were sitting on a hard toilet for several hours last night. And so now your back hurts like a bitch. So it's just silly stuff like that. It's just silly stuff like that, man. It's just silly shit. It's just silly shit like that. Silly crud like that. And I haven't even uploaded a cartoon in about 4 or 5 days now, which is way too long for me to not upload a cartoon. It's not acceptable. I think maybe I just don't know what to draw, or I don't know what's going on. I've had a busy week. So that's part of the problem too. But I don't like that I haven't posted a cartoon in so long. I don't like that at all. And anyway, my breath is terrible. My mucus tastes and smells terrible. Before I went to bed this morning, I dumped a ton of salt water into my nose to try to help with it. And I guess I'm just trying to get my throat breath taste from being so disgustingly terrible. So that's why I've been flooding my nose with salt water. Doesn't work very well. I think I need to buy nasal medicine that isn't salt water, like some kind of other nasal chemical shit. Could be my teeth, could be, I don't know what's causing, but it's been going on for like a year or two, year and a half or two, something like that. Terrible breath, terrible taste in my mouth, terrible mucus, all that stuff. So I bought this salt water crap a few months ago. So I've been using that, just flooding my nose with salt water, trying to ease the disgusting nasal shit. And yeah. Anyway, that's about it. And I had a dream during my 10 hours of sleep, and there was chicks in the dream. Obviously chicks in the dream. And I don't really remember what the dream was about, though. Cannot really remember. I had another dream yesterday. I think maybe I was at a tattoo parlor, and I ran into this guy who doesn't talk to me anymore. He cut me off. But, you know, I was talking to him, but he was pretending that he didn't know who I was, and I was pretending that I didn't know who he was. And I think we were at some tattoo parlor or something. And anyways, which is fine, right? People come and go. You know, I get that. I get that people come and go. And and chicks are extremely confusing and tricky, and it seems like they want nothing to do with me. But you never know, you never know. Maybe sometime, someday, you never know. You never know. So, there you go, yeah. It's really foggy yesterday, not foggy today yet. Saw a bunch of coyotes here. That was cool. I don't know what coyotes are doing here today. There's a couple of stray cats here that I like, so I hope that they don't eat the cats, because I like some of the cats here that walk around. I don't know. I don't know what to talk about. I don't know, dude. I've been down in the dumps. I think I was down in the dumps, and I was trying to study a bunch of Jewish stuff yesterday, and not just in magic stuff. I'm gonna try to study the magic crap, the astrology crap, the tarot crap. I think I'm just gonna try to study a lot of that crap, like, hopefully. Or I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. That's all I can think. That's all I can think about what I should do. Because I don't know what the hell to do. I really just don't know what the hell to do. So, yeah. Fuck. Feels like it might be a fucking cold night tonight in the car. Might be a really cold night. I put my soda cans underneath my car so that they get cold. They might be cold by now. I put them under my car like 30 minutes ago. That's the cool thing about nighttime, is that it works like a freezer. A lot of people don't even know this or care, but if you live somewhere where it's nighttime, like everywhere in the entire world, then you can put your soda cans outside at night, and they'll get cold like a freezer. And nobody even talks about this. Nobody even fuck. It's just crazy how I come up with all these insane, amazing genius ideas and inventions and stuff, like putting soda cans outside to get cold. And nobody ever fucking thinks about this. Nobody patents this. Nobody thinks about this. Nobody talks about this. You can go over to your boss or your parents and say, hey, you can put your soda outside, it'll get cold. They'll say, wait, what? This will blow their fucking mind. If I had a girlfriend, I could tell her about the freezer outside. I could tell her about, my favorite color is green. A lot of you guys don't remember, but my favorite color is green. I like to remind everyone about that as much as I can. I even told my mom the other day. I said, do you know what my favorite color is? She said, no. I said, well, guess. And I think she said, green? And I said, yeah, it's green. No, duh. I try to tell everyone that because that is my favorite color. And that's been my favorite color for at least almost 2 years now. Almost 2 years now. And write in the comments your favorite color. And I fucking hate having a nose and a throat and a mouth. I'm sorry, but there's too much phlegm and smeg and snot in my sinuses. I need some sort of fireball whiskey medicine to clear out my sinuses once and for all. This is getting fucking annoying as fuck and ridiculous and pissed off, and yeah, I've prayed about it. And it fucking pisses me off. I don't know if my teeth are rotten. I haven't used toothpaste now in weeks. And I'm just not much of a toothpaste guy. I'd write in the comments if you're a toothpaste girl or guy. But I'm not much of a toothpaste boy. And so I've just been brushing kind of with water for weeks now. Maybe longer. And I don't know. I don't see the appeal. I don't see why people care about toothpaste. I try to floss sometimes, but I've been too exhausted to floss now for at least 2 or 3 days, maybe 4 days. So I need to floss. I really need to floss. I've just been too fucking busy with fucking life stuff, I guess. I don't know, but been too fucking niggery to floss. And then I ordered some more circus equipment. I'll show you guys when if I hook it up. Maybe I'll show you guys. I still haven't shown you guys the circus stuff yet. That's coming. That's coming, maybe. That's coming soon. It's coming soon. Maybe. We'll see. It's coming. And, sorry. And, yeah, so. Oh, man. It's a shame. Because I got a lot to, I got a lot to say to a woman. I got a lot to bring to the table. But, I just can't, it just seems like every one of them, I don't know, just they get the wrong, impression or something, or they get the, so, I don't know, so, I gotta make sure if I talk to a creature that my eyes aren't spinning in circles, and I gotta I'm gonna try to be fun and funny, but I gotta make sure that I don't come off as too timid or too crazy, and I gotta make sure I come off as, I don't know, I guess normal. Like, I gotta be like, yep, I am going to school and work, and yes, I work and I go to school and I'm getting my degree in engineering and vagina earring and computer science, and I like money, and I want 2 kids, and I want a pet dog, and I want a house and a car and a windmill to blow my scrotum sack like a blowjob. Fucking cunt. And so I just gotta make sure that if I ever go on a date, or if I ever relate, or if I ever masturbate, or if I ever get a chick, I just have to make sure that I make a good first impression. And I have to make sure that my breath doesn't smell too bad. Because a lot of the time I forget to put on deodorant, or I forget to put on deodorant. And nobody cares about deodorant. I don't care about it. I don't put it on. I could. It takes a long time to put on. You have to open the cap, lift your arm, massage the inside of your nasty armpit hole. It takes a long time to put deodorant on. It takes a long time to use toothpaste. Everything takes a long time. My brain has been fucking raped in a way where I like to do things quick. I don't like things that take a long time. Brushing your teeth takes a long time. Deodorant takes a long time. I want to do things quick. These things take too much time. Gardening takes too much time. I can't do that. I'm going to do things. I do short things. If I make cartoons, that takes a long time. I try to finish them quick because they take too long to make. They take a long time to make. So I try to finish them quick so I can go on into the next thing. And it's not good because there's some not good things going on in my life because my laptop screen is broke. So now I'm getting lazier because my screen because I have to hook it up to a TV. My keyboard is a good amount of it's broken. So that's been pissing me off a lot lately. So that makes me not want to use it. I've been sitting in my bed more and more instead of I don't even use my chair now. I just sit in bed on my computer and I use a keyboard with the mouse. So I'm typing with my mouse and I'm not even using a keyboard now, which types very slow. Typing with a mouse types very slow. So I think I might be getting lazier or something because now I'm always just in bed. I'm not even using chairs anymore. I'm typing with a mouse. My keyboard's broken on my faggot nigger laptop anyways, so that makes me not want to use it very much. And so there are things that are not good going on. All the video games I've ever played are boring, pretty much, except I play one, but even that I haven't been playing very much lately, so that's not good. All the anime's boring. It all sucks nigger ass, so I haven't been watching any anime. So that's not good because that means... So I'm just getting bored of everything. That's why I reckon I have to just study as much as possible now because that might be the only thing that can hopefully kind of fuck me up or make cartoons or videos or study. Because everything else is too tricky, too faggoty, no girlfriend, keyboard's piece of shit, etc., etc. Not using chairs anymore for some reason. Chairs are uncomfortable maybe, I don't know. Sitting in bed more and more. It's like, I don't know what's going on. It's a little tricky. So I got to figure this stuff out because I need to either get a new laptop because it'll have a fixed keyboard and screen, or I need to figure out something. Or I need to figure out something new or something like that, you know? I need to figure this stuff out. This makes me want to just dump rubbing alcohol down my sinus throat, my sinus fucking nasals, dude. So yeah, that's pretty much what's been going on, and I look tired today. I've got bags under my eyes. Blindness runs in my family, so I have to be careful to not end up blind, but I probably will end up blind maybe because it runs in my family. That's not good. And hope you guys are having a good night. And God bless you and your families. I don't think I've said that in a while, so I just figured I would say that. I think if you go on a date, there's something you can do. I know I told you guys about hypnosis a couple days ago in my last podcast. Hypnotizing women on a date. Yes, it can be done. Does that mean it's ethical? Yes. Does that mean it's legal? Yes. Does that mean you should just whip out your hypnotic pendulum, so to speak, or your spinning fidget spinner with a spiral drawn on it? Yes, that does mean those things. Does that mean it's something you can do? Yes. Does that mean it's something... Does that mean it's something you should do? Yes. Does that mean that it's something that we ought to do? Yes. Does that mean that it's something that... Some people are asking me in the comments, Jer, what are the best icebreaker questions that I can ask on my first date to make a good first impression? A lot of people have been asking me in the comments, Jer, what's the best icebreaker questions that I can ask on a date? These would be the best questions if you are trying to get your freak on. Question number 1. What's your favorite color of skin? Be careful what she says here. If she answers anything other than... I'm not even going to get into it because I think YouTube will... Number 2 question. Number 2 question... what was the biggest problem in your parents' relationship? You have to see what went wrong in your parents' marriage. And you have to try to avoid that sort of path. You don't want to go down that path, trust me. Number 2 question, what's the biggest problem or issue in your parents' relationship that you've seen or you've deduced or you've thought about? Number 3 question. What's your favorite disability? Everyone here already knows what my favorite one is, because I have it. It would be RLS, Restless Leg Syndrome. It just starts shaking, and once it starts shaking, it just starts quaking. Number 4 question. Favorite natural disaster. Favorite national disaster. Favorite natural disaster. Number 4 question. People might say Katrina. They might say Helena. They might say 9/11. They might say 7/11. They might say this YouTube channel. It's my favorite national disaster. Number 5 question. Have you seen my inhaler? And then start making noises like you can't breathe. I can't breathe. Have you seen my inhaler? Have you seen my inhaler? Oh, start coughing like you're about to die. Have you seen my EpiPen? Right? All the Zoomers now, Zoomers don't use inhalers anymore. Now everyone uses EpiPens. Back in my day, back in the 1990s, yeah, people used a little thing called inhalers. There was none of this freaking EpiPen crap. None of this EpiPen crap. I was walking behind this old German man. This was yesterday. And this old German man, he was a fat man. And he had a big gas problem. He was farting. A lot of farts were coming out. And he fell down on the ground. I think because he farted so hard, he fell on the ground. I towered over this poor, defenseless man. I said, what is your name? I said, what is your name? What is your name? He said, Reiden, Rocken, Schnecken, Denken, Denken, Nicker, Denken, Denken. Some like German stuff, like Rocken, Denken, Denken. he said some long German name. I said, no, from now on your name's the Hindenburg. And he laughed, and then he passed away right there in my arms. He laughed and passed gas and passed away in my arms and in my charms. And that was the last thing he saw and heard. And this happened about around 2 yesterday. The Greek Greco-physicist man who created clocks. This was 1,000 years ago in ancient Greece. This is real, but actually after he invented the first clock, he regretted it. He said, I never should have invented the sundial. I never should have invented clocks. I never should have made the time go round. And you know why I think that Greek boy said, why I think he regretted clocks? I think because he's thinking, he goes to his boss, and his boss says, okay, I'll see you tomorrow at noon. And he says, but boss, I just invented the first clock. And this is real, because he did invent a clock. And the boss says, oh, look at this clock. And he says, yeah. He says, okay, well, then I'm gonna need to see you at about 1:16 p.m. sharp tomorrow. And now, instead of the Greek guy just showing up whenever he wants sometime around noon, when the sun is, probably, pretty high up in the sky, you can tell it's noon when the sun is up there. All of a sudden, now you got these dumbass clocks, LED clocks, sundial clocks, and now the Greek guy is setting his alarm dial, and he's looking at the sundial. Is it 1:15 yet? I have to leave. I got to be there on time, so I have to leave 10 minutes early. Now, all of a sudden, working got much worse because now we got all these clocks everywhere. People are always checking their watches, their Reeboks, their clocks, their dials, their grandfather clocks, their cuckoo clocks, their, what's that famous watch called that everyone wears? It's the rich one? I don't remember. Somebody write in the comments, what's that one really rich watch that everyone wears when normies get a lot of money, they go out and buy a bunch of these stupid-ass golden watches. I forgot the name of them, but you guys might know the name. I'm thinking I don't remember the name. But, so, you might not have thought about this, but the world was probably better off before clocks were invented. And that's true. That's actually true. And I've barely patrolled it all today. It's quite cold. It seems very cold. I've barely patrolled all night, and I still got about 3 hours and 25 minutes left to go. So I guess I'm going to patrol really quick, and then I will be back for the second part of my stand-up show here on Netflix that you've tuned into. This is Zabujard, aka Jer's Netflix special comedy show titled the name of my Netflix show that you clicked on is called I can't think. Whose fart is it anyways? Instead of whose line is it anyways? I mean, that's an option. If you guys can come up with a name, write in the comments. Whose fart is it anyways? Sabajard's second or third Netflix special coming to HBO Max, which HBO Max changed their name to just Max. So coming to Max very soon, and Prime, and all the other streaming services, MTV, Hulu, Tubu, Mimu, Tubung, what else is there? Oh, Disney Minus, and Disney Division Symbol, and what's the other streaming crud? I think that's all the big ones. I was just about to go walk, and now somebody parked their car, and they have their signal on. And I'm not sure why they have their signal on. At 4 in the morning. in front of my car. Oh, they're driving away now, I think. Sorry about that. And it is so cold that my toes feel like ice cubes. I mean, they are frozen solid, my toes. I have a small jacket on my lap, but nothing seems to help with, especially with my toes, when I sit in this car all night, because it gets so cold. You know, it gets, I'd say it's around 60 or 50 degrees right now. I'm not sure which one. I'm going to check on that, see what it is. But just so you guys know, freezing temperature, I think, is 50 degrees. Is that right? 50, I think. Is that right? 50? 30? I don't remember. It doesn't matter. Anyways, my toes are very cold. And they need a woman to be sucking on them. I know a lot of people... Okay, I'm gonna patrol. I'll be right back. Oh. Oh, fuck. Oh, man. Okay, I got about an hour left here. Then I can go home. Wherever that is, wherever home is. Some people don't have a home. I think eventually, I wouldn't be surprised if I ended up homeless. It's like, and that's because, that's because, but that's because, even my family charges me rent. I mean, that's a sad state of society when even your family's charging you monetary rent. Am I right? I mean, that's funny. And I like jokes. I like humor. I'm a comedian type of creature. I'm great with jokes. I'm great with pokes. I'm a cartoonist. I'm a lot of different things. So it's just kind of a joke. It's like your mom gives birth to you and you come out and she says, that'll be $20. And you say, can I write you a check? And she says, yeah, you can write me a check. And then you write your mom a check after she gave birth to you. That's what it's like when you're renting, paying rent to your family. It's like they gave birth to you, and then I say, now that I'm going to need about $25 now. That's what it's like. And so if you're a baby and you don't have $20, then they say, okay, then get out of this house, get out of here. So now you're homeless. So now what do you do? What do you do when you're homeless? Now, I mean, I'm sitting in my car all night at work, and it's fucking freezing. It's 45 degrees. If you're gonna be homeless, I'm gonna build a shed in the middle of the woods and make it into some sort of witch's shack, because it is too cold to be homeless on the street. If you're gonna be homeless, I'm gonna build some sort of fucking structure out of tires or something. I don't know, because it's just too cold, in my opinion, to be homeless anymore. It's too cold. It's too cold. It's too cold. And so that's my opinion on homeless stuff. I mean, and they're cutting down all the rainforest shit. So you're not going to have, it's getting harder and harder to run into the forest and become some sort of weird forest witch and build a shack and be homeless, because they're cutting down the forest. They injected everyone with nano dust, so now they can see everyone's GPS location. Everyone who took the crap scene a few years ago has got fag nano dust in their body, so now you can be seen on a GPS. They can Bluetooth your cock and your cum. Not only that, but there's a chemtrail above me, epic. Not only that, but right now they're putting smart dust in the fog, so people are inhaling that. So you're gonna end up on their GPS. Elon Musk fag Starlink satellite system, which can see everywhere in this realm, supposedly. He says on Twitter, you can go anywhere you want and we'll always be able to find you. Like it's a good thing. No thanks. If I'm gonna leave, I don't want to be found, idiot. So no thank you. No thank you. So, what was I talking about? Yes, rent. So I don't know. I always imagine I would end up homeless. You never know. But this society is so messed up and gay. It's just like it's like something's got to give or something's got to change. Why would you even want to be rich in this society right now, anyways? Because it's just so messed up and like gross. You know what I mean? And so other something else you could say to it. Let me see here. Something else you could say to a chick. On your first date, you could say, hey, do you remember your first kiss? And she'll say yes or no. And she says yes. You can say, oh, what was it like? What was it like? I'm looking forward to mine. And she'll and then she'll say, oh. And then she'll start puckering up. And then you say, no, you're out of my league. And then you run away, screaming, and piss is coming down your leg. And, yeah, these are good tips. These are tips for anyone. Ah, boy. I mean, yeah. So anyways, I mean, I'm so desperate, I would just take a chick who's bipedal, or better yet, quadpedal. So I want a chick who walks on all four legs. So I want a chick, she walks on her arms and her legs at the same time. It's it's basically a spider creature chick. And they do exist. If you type in spidercreaturechicks.com, I'm going to make that website and hire women to do that, because I don't think that website exists yet. And I want people to go there and think, oh, this is real. This is a real website. Real women are doing this. Real women walk on all four legs. I guess I don't get out of the house enough. And people will believe it's a real thing. But actually, it's just a website I just created. And it's actually fake. I'm gonna remind me to do that. Someone remind me to make what did I say it was called? Spidercreaturechicks.com. Spider creature. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Yeah. Alexa, set a reminder for me to make a new website where, anyways, doesn't matter. So, anyways. Oh man, I can't stand this job. I want to leave so bad, and hopefully I can any day now, any day. And it's cold and it's boring, and it's just cold and boring. It's just cold and boring and cold and boring. I wrote a new song. I know I told you guys my last song was called Tie Them Up, and it goes like this. Tie them up with ropes and string. Tie them up, won't feel a thing. Tie them up, something like that. I'm kind of brainstorming, but that's kind of the general how the song goes. This is my new song I just wrote today, and this new song is called On and On. It goes like this. On and 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 on. That's my new song called And On. If you guys got songs, you can write them down in the comments. You can write, could be anything. Could be whatever. Some people do write songs. And, I gotta whip out my piano and make a song or something. I barely even used it, and I bought it. I barely even used it. It's quite tiny. It's a tiny microcock piano. It might be a little too small, but it'll get the job done maybe. So I'm gonna whip it out. I'm gonna slurp it up. I'm gonna slurp on it, whip on it. Try to make a song on it maybe, and then I will show you guys a song. You guys remember that movie with the hot goth chick in it, and it was called what was that movie? What was that movie with the? I think they jump out of a window or something. Who's in that movie? Is that Oh, I don't even remember the movie now. I think it was in the 90s. They're in a psych ward. There's a movie where they're in a psych ward. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I don't remember. I don't even remember the movie. I remember they were in a psych ward. It doesn't matter. It might have been a Zach Galifianakis movie. I can't remember. Anyways. So, hey, I'm going to upload a fun video. I think you guys are going to love it. It's not a cartoon. But you know what's funny is my non-cartoon videos probably get way more views than my cartoon videos. For some reason. Is that true? I think that is probably true. I'm not even talking about the podcasts. I'm more talking about like the vlogs. And I do like making vlogs. So I haven't made a cartoon in 5 days, which is really bad. 4 or 5 days. That's really bad. Really bad. But I have made a few vlogs. But it just doesn't feel good knowing I haven't made a cartoon in 4 or 5 days. I mean, that's not good. That's not good. I've got to work on that. I got to change that. I got to fix that immediately. But I've been studying. kind of. I'm trying to study as much as I can and get as smart as I can. I'm trying to get the biggest brain that I possibly can when it comes to, that the occult shit, the occult stuff or whatever. All that stuff. I just want to get smart. And I pray for as much knowledge as possible. I'm serious. I pray for that. And, because I'm not good at fixing cars, but hopefully I can learn this other stuff, because I know people think, what's a man? A man is a person who can fix a car. But I'm not good with cars. I don't even know what the difference is between a Ford 150 and a Bronco, big butt Bronco that was driven by O.J. Simpson when he was running from the Boys in Blue and they let him off the hook. Because he was probably actually eating youngsters underground, and that's why they let him off the hook. The police are all Masons. That's why they just let everyone off the hook, and they should be abolished because what people need is vigilantes and private justice. Because as you can tell, the police don't do anything. Like Krepstein, they didn't arrest anyone from his island. They didn't arrest anyone from his list. They're completely useless trash. Sorry to sound offensive. I'm not talking about your local sheriff, Johnny Law. I mean, maybe he's doing okay. But in the whole scheme of things, they're not doing anything. You see all the celebrities in their mansions who are 24/7 drinking youngster blood underground. You think the Boys in Blue are knocking down their doors and saving those youngsters and arresting those witch faggots and witches? No, they're not. They're not. So that's why the Boys in Blue should be abolished. And they were put in place so that you and me couldn't actually take pitchforks to Nosferatu's house and and finish the problem once and for all, because that's what should be done, no matter what. The thing is about the future, if this continues on, the most important thing that's going to be happening is citizen arrests. That's where the citizens are arresting freaks, and that's probably going to be the most important thing that happens, and also praying and stuff. But citizen arrests, I mean, you know what I'm talking about. What's going down. It's going down. So, it's fine. It is what it is. It's fine. It's whatever. We'll see. We'll see what happens. So we'll see. So, so I'm going to what I need to do? I need to focus and try to make more videos and vlogs and stuff and study. And maybe, I don't know, maybe make more vlogs or something and study and stuff like that. I don't know, stuff like that. Maybe stuff like that or something, maybe something like that, Yeah, or whatever. You can do it. You can make your own candy company. And you start selling your candy online. If I had a product I could sell, I thought I could sell, maybe I could make puppets for people. Yeah, like, how I made that creature out of balloons like a week ago? I think on the vlog I showed you guys I made a creature out of balloons like a week ago. I mean, I could sell those. I could sell little balloon creatures online. So I could do that. I could sell little balloon creatures, So, you could do shit like that. I could do stuff like that. I'd rather do that than this job. I'd rather do anything than this job. You know what I mean? And, but that's fine, because I should be able to quit this job, hopefully for a long time. Soon, at least as long as possible. I'm praying, because I'm an artist, this job isn't an art job. This job is a security guard job. There's kind of a difference in jobs there, if you catch my drift. It's not the right fit, I think. I think in a way it's not the right fit. At the same time, since I'm here, it means that it might be kind of like destiny that I am here. That God allowed me to be here, He put me here, whatever it is. So you could be like, well, my job, I'm not supposed to be whatever the fuck your fag job is. I'm not supposed to be a nail manicurist. Then what are you doing there in that job? Why are you there? Oh, well, I don't know. I've just always been here. Well, then maybe that's just what you're supposed to do in this gay life. I don't know. Like, I don't know what to tell you. So that's just a thing. And anyways, I got to do a patrol real quick before my coworker gets here in about, I don't know, 45 minutes before I can leave this silly place and go to sleep, take some sleeping pills and fall asleep. One of my favorite pastime activities to do. And before I go, I just want to say, as we all know, the word alcohol comes from the Arabic word al-kahul, which was kind of a powdery substance that the Arabs would put in their eyes to increase their vision. Of course, the liquid alcohol we drink today is a fake manifestation of spiritual enlightenment. It makes you feel like you're in pure orgasmic spiritual bliss for a while before you crash. It's a con artist. It imitates pure enlightenment without any of the work. You could probably say the same thing about other drugs and even orgasms. Oops. These are states of orgasmic bliss where you feel like you're enlightened, like, say, the Buddha or some other religious figure you might think of who's enlightened. This is... When we think about alcohol, it's the same exact process that comes from spiritual enlightenment. Alcohol is made from purifying two different substances. Purifying means getting rid of the really crappy particles and keeping the pure particles. It's called distillation. Distilling is purifying the creature into its purest form. That's the same thing as spiritual enlightenment. You can perhaps attain through hard work, chanting, meditation, and prayer, and all that stuff. Reaching spiritual enlightenment, the same process as distilling alcohol or alcohol, is it's just taking the bad parts out of you and keeping all the pure good parts. You're distilling your own body and spirit the same way alcohol is distilled. That's why you have that extreme coincidence, or what's it called, like connection between alcohol and the spiritual enlightenment. And of course, there's verses that go against alcohol in the Bible, that you shouldn't be a drunk. But then there's also verses that talk about wine. Wine has always been kind of a special little substance and all that jazz. See you guys. The good thing about being single and alone all the time, I think I've mentioned this before, but it gives you a lot more, emotional, it gives you more, it gives you more time and energy to make art when you're single and alone, and if you're in pain, if you're tortured, if you're screaming, if you're some kind of curious, bewildered creature, if you're alone, some people complain about being alone, but if you're alone, it gives you a lot of rage and emotion, and it gives you a lot of special feelings that you can use to make art. And that's why being alone can be an interesting thing. I don't know if it's a good or bad thing, but it's definitely a thing. It's definitely a thing. So if you are bummed about being alone, just remember that you can use all that kind of tormented energy that's built up inside of you, or that whatever energy that you have inside of you, you can use to draw something with crayons, or spit on a piece of paper and kind of rub it around with your fist, and put a couple of globs of cum and globs of paint on the canvas, and call the painting my big globby cummy painting. You can use whatever's inside of you at any time to think of how to turn it into something else, something artistic or something autistic. You can decide to change it from positive to negative, or negative to positive, or anywhere in between. And that's the magic of having feelings and having thoughts and having stuff inside of you is that you can bring it out of you in lots of different beautiful ways, or all kinds of ways. You can bring what's inside of you, you can bring it out of you in all sorts of interesting ways. Seriously. You know, we each have our own story. Some stories are short and some stories are long, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with having your own story, and it doesn't matter the length. Remember what all women say: size doesn't matter. The size of your story doesn't matter. It could be a short story. You could have died when you were 20 or whatever. It could be a long story. You could die when you're 30 or 50 or 80 or 5,600 million nigger years old. The point is that it's nice. It's cool that we both have a story. It doesn't matter the length or the girth or the width or how hard it is, how rock hard it is, or how flaccid it is. It doesn't matter about the size of your story or the hardness of it. It can be an easy story. It can be an easy story. It can be a hard story. It can be... If you're familiar with the Hermit card in the tarot, the Hermit card, you know, that card means, what that card means, and you know, there's a chance for both of us, because you might have a long story. There's a chance for me, because I might have a long story. I might have a short story. You never know. And the tarot card, the Hermit, means that, you know, that means that nobody's gonna write your story for you. Nobody's gonna do the work for you. Nobody's gonna hold your hand and suck your cum. You're gonna have to write your own story, and it might be hard. But nobody's gonna hold your hand, and to crush your balls on that more. You know, when you die, you're alone. You know, you have God with you, but you go into the afterlife alone. You can't take your partner with you. You can say, okay, I'm taking you with me now. You can't take your mom with you. You can't take your wife. You can't take your dog. It's just you. And nothing exemplifies that more than, you know, that idea of the Hermit card or whatever. You know, it's that, you know, you start in the tarot, you start off as the Fool card. You start off as a fool who's about to die, and out of curiosity, the fool decides to learn and change his ways or whatever. And that fool might become a hermit, or the Prince card, or the King card, or the Hanged Man, or whatever it is. That fool can turn into anything. He has a lot of potential in what he's going to turn into. And that's what I wanted to say. And yeah. Something fun I've been doing is sucking in my cheekbones as much as possible. I'm really trying to get extremely beautiful cheekbones, which my cheekbones are already extremely beautiful. I told you guys I'm the most beautiful man in the entire universe, pretty much, but I still like to suck in my cheekbones as much as possible because I really want to exaggerate those cheekbones. Hell, I even thought about, what if I got them tattooed so that they looked more sunken in? Of course, you could just lose a couple more pounds and that would do the same trick. But anyways, hopefully it's having an effect. I really want to get some beautiful chiseled cheekbones just for myself and for anyone else who wants to look at my cheekbones, because I do think they look cool, especially when you're trying to get that. Some people work on their abs. I work on my cheeks. And, you know, people can work on whatever they want to. It doesn't matter. And now I'm just writing my stupid-ass report for work and writing a bunch of nonsense about what I did last night, even though I barely did anything. And just sat in the public bathroom and sat in my car for most of the night. But I have to make up a bunch of lies because my coworker said I need to write a bunch of lies so that the management thinks that a bunch of stupid shit happened. It's just dumb. Basically, it's just dumb. But anyways, I'm getting out of here in a couple minutes, thank God. Now I just have to make sure I don't crash on the road back to my house. My windshields are extremely frosted over, so you can barely see. So you know what's insane? When I drive here at night, my windows are so frosted over you can't see out of the side ones at all. You can't see out of the back one at all. You can maybe a little bit see out of the front one. And yes, I run the defroster. It doesn't really work in my opinion. I think that's faggot lies that people say defrosters work. And so what I do is I try to wipe off the inside of the window and the outside. And I think it's mostly the inside sometimes. And then so when I'm driving to work at night, I'll use the window wipers, and that'll get rid of the frost for maybe a second. And then the frost will just come back. So it's extremely dangerous to drive a car at night when your windshields are always frosted. And I think it's also dangerous somewhat to drive your car in the morning before the frost has gone away. So then your car is still frosted. So then it's also dangerous to drive it in the morning. Basically, the worst times you can possibly drive is the times I think I'm probably driving. The times when your car is still frosted over at night and frosted over from the night in the morning before the frost has gone away. If there was no frost on the windows, they'd be much safer to drive. That might sound like some sort of neat excuse, but I don't know how normies drive because these windshields are fucking retarded and dangerous and fucking stupid, and I hate them. I hate driving with frosted windows so much because it's just really creepy and stupid. So that's my opinion on that. Seriously, that's my opinion on driving at night and in the morning when your windshields are super frosted over. It's too dangerous and too retarded. So I can't wait to quit this dumb job very soon. Very soon, I'm hoping and I'm praying extremely soon. I think it should be any day now. Any day now. Any second now, really. Assuming I don't get cursed or Jewed, which you never know. Because, I never have anyone in my corner. And play depressing music right now. Play depressing music while I give this speech. I never have anyone in my corner, so, I'm kind of used to that. And everyone I love just thinks I'm a pile of trash. And that's why I've been alone my whole life. And this and that, and woe is me, and keep playing depressing music behind this speech. And, alright. I'll see you guys. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna drive. And hopefully not crash. Bye-bye.
Now it's time to have a snuggle with my very best friend in the whole wide world. You. Well, I'm glad you could come over. See you soon. Bye. And the clown jumped over the moon.